Like I said, this is just wonderful. Do you think you can have like an armful? Look at this. Can't even hug it all. An armful of basil grown in a couple of weeks indoors, and you don't worry about pests. You don't worry about anything. No weeding, no tilling, no composting. This is easy as can be, folks. This is set it and forget it.
There's a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic.
Hey, welcome back to Keep On Growing. I'm Mike Van Duzy, and today we're going to be talking about basil and doing something cool. For one thing, all of this basil that you've seen here were grown right here indoors under Brad from Hidden Harvest Grow Lights, under his grow lights, and that's just one right there. You can see this basil has just reached the top of it. You know, I could take that and raise it up a little more, but I'm going to harvest some of it. I've got, you know, a little bag. We're going to make a lot of pesto. We just love pesto and or marguerite pizza. If you guys have had caprese, you know, where you take tomatoes, a little mozzarella, fresh basil, it's got to be fresh basil, and a little balsamic vinegar. If you can get the glaze, that real thick stuff, it's awesome. But we've also got more basil growing up there, and I set this up. I'll do a video. It's going to be coming out. I've got to edit it still, but set up this little station. It's just a 36-inch rack in the corner of our studio, and set it up with lights, and all of this stuff was grown indoors. And believe it or not, all of this basil came from one set of microgreens. And that little bit of microgreens, you know, we grow it into smaller containers. It was just a small container like this, a little takeout container. I'll show a little picture of it. And we just got a little bit out of it to grow this basil. The rest we harvested and just ate as microgreens. So, you know, with microgreens, you're literally growing hundreds of plants in a little area like this. So we take some of them out. That's part of this continuous harvest thing, where you grow microgreens. You always have microgreens growing. You know, see, we've just constantly got stuff. There's some cress. We've got some kale growing. We've got all kinds of stuff growing over here. So you constantly have it growing, and then you take some of those microgreens, you plant them out into these bigger containers, keep those going, and just keep the cycle going over and over. So I'm going to bring down some of these up here. I'll show you a shot of it. You can't see it from here. I'll bring you in. But we took these milk containers. Just came with almond breeze. It's not quite a gallon. I think it's 3 quarts. And all we did was, when this got big, we trimmed it off, took the cutting off the top, and put a couple of them into each one of these and put it up top. I think I put one in each, actually, it looks like. And you'll see what it looks like. I'll actually bring those down for you and bring them here, because we're going to harvest it. It's touching the roof of the studio, so it's got to be harvested. We're going to harvest this too. And then we're going to try something different. I'm thinking like either pak choy, something else. What would you guys like to see me try and grow in here underneath these lights? Right now the temperature is perfect. It's not getting too hot. This studio is not air conditioned. I got a small unit, and when we get into the heat of summer, you know, it's rough just to try and keep down in the 90s in here. But right now the temperature's only getting up in the 80s outside, low 90s, and inside of here I can keep it down in the 70s and 80s. So right now is like the perfect time for me to grow in here and experiment. If I get this thing closed and really can control the temperature, I can grow all year long. But let me pull those down, and we're going to show you all of this. You guys check out Brad. I think he's got some more of these lights in from Hidden Harvest Grow Lights. I put his link down in the description, or his channel. Check him out on YouTube here, and just let him know you want some of these lights if you do. Let's pull these down. See what this looks like. I'll pull this one out too. Oh, another thing we're going to do, I almost forgot because there's so much to talk about, right? This one that we did last week, I love this idea. This is cool. It's just a little milk carton, and you saw the video. We just pop some holes in it and fill it with nutrient solution. Basil grew. Look at the flowers. My wife eats those flowers. And then when we need to fill the nutrients, we just open that up and we fill the nutrients in there. It's an awesome little system. And then this keeps it closed up. There's not a big hole where the pool noodles or cloning collars or whatever you use are. And there's not a whole lot of room for light or anything to get in. And the roots, from what I can see in the little hole, looks white, but I want to see what is going on inside of here. So right now I could go ahead and top these off again. You know, go into one of these joints where you've got these smaller leaves growing. You can top all these off and it'll keep growing. But at this point where we've grown, you know, our basil, we can actually harvest this. I want to go ahead and cut this open and see what the roots look like and what it looks like in here, because this has been here about 3 weeks. No aeration, no checking the nutrients, no doing anything. Set it and forget it. It went down somewhere in here and I filled it up about halfway. And it's gone down a little bit more, so what I'm going to do is empty out what nutrients I've got in there so I don't get water all over the place. And I'm going to cut this open. We're going to see what the roots look like. And don't worry about this because we're going to eat the basil, and if we need to, we'll just plant out another one and try it again, right? So we're going to give that a try. Let me pull down all this basil up here and show you what's going on. Whoa. This is just one. Looks like a little basil tree, doesn't it? This, we planted out. Like I said, we just put it in here. We took a cutting, like if you went in and just said, all right, we're just going to come in here and take this guy. You know, you go down to where there's 2 going out and you cut that off. We just took, you know, these. And actually these 6 up here were the ones that, if you saw, we did a little funny experiment where we just tossed them into here so they grew some roots, popped them in there, let them grow a little bit of roots. But of course they can't stay in there. There's only, you know, a couple of ounces of water in there. So what we did was, once it rooted, took these, filled it up with nutrient solution, and just took a little pool noodle, just enough to hold it, stuck it in there, and let it go. This one we didn't refill any. This one we refilled once. The downspout back there I've refilled about 3 times, I think. So this is set it and forget it. Didn't do anything to it. Have it. Actually, all of those that are up there, I'll be pulling them down here for you to see. We'll have a basil jungle here. But the ones up there, I didn't do anything to it. I didn't check the nutrients. I put it in, and right now, what if I get a light and I can see? It's cold. Feels like it's down to right about there. So we haven't refilled, haven't done anything. Literally set it and forget it. And look at all the basil you've got. Let's go ahead and pull those down. I'll put this over here for a second and we'll start pulling these down. And I'll show you how much basil. Now remember, all of this and this came from clippings from that one back there. So when that one was about half its size when it first started to grow, we topped it off, planted it out in here, put those up top. Didn't touch it. Those have been sitting there and it just grew by themselves. Cut a couple more. Did this little video a couple weeks ago. So I'll pull these down and show you, and then we'll pull this one out because I'm going to harvest all of this too. So we've got like a literal basil jungle within a couple of weeks, just inside with Brad's Hidden Harvest grow lights. Let me pull those down. And while I'm pulling these down, I want to let you know too, I'll flash a little picture. I finally made some merch. Some people were asking about merch or t-shirts and was asking, I've been on YouTube for a long time and they see all these other creators with t-shirts and I haven't had any. And basically, I didn't want to just make a t-shirt and just stick my logo on it and it'd be like advertising or something for me. I wanted to make something that you guys would be proud to wear in that. So it took me a while. I kept thinking of different designs and coming up with just dozens and dozens of ideas and just trashing them. And finally came up with one. It's Be the Change, and I'm really proud of that one. I love it. My wife's going to get an apron with it. I'm going to get the coffee mug, but we'll get a couple of t-shirts. So that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll give away a couple t-shirts coming up. But if you guys are interested in them, down there below there's a little merchandise shelf below the video, and it'll take you to the shop where the t-shirts are. So if you want to help support the channel or just the cause or just spread the message, you know, that we can't feed the world, so we're going to teach the world how to feed itself. That's actually one of the t-shirts that I have there. I like that one. The shelf is right down below, and we'd really appreciate it. And if any of you guys do get a t-shirt or a mug or anything, when you do it, take a picture and post it to social media and tag me so I can shout you out. Or jump in our Facebook group and share with everybody over there too. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I'll put those up. This one is a little smaller, and it doesn't feel like it used as much as this one, didn't grow quite as much as this one did, and the nutrients are still way up to here. So if I harvest this one didn't do all that good. I've still got nutrients I can use for something else, or I might just top this off and pop it up there. I think it wasn't getting as much light. It's one of the ones that's on the edge. So there's two. Just pull this one down. That's another one. I don't know if you guys can see all of these. Put this one up here. I won't have any room left. This is another one that's kind of falling over. It's trying to get up towards the light. You can see how tall that is. I'm a little short guy. And one more. Alright, this one was right in the middle. So the ones that were right in the middle got a little bushier. Right? See that? This one's starting to flower. And you can see, if you guys can see in there, how thick these are. If I would have come in here, you know, and started cutting these, there's two more. I can actually trim these off. There's little leaves here. So we can still trim these up. And since there's so much nutrients in here, I'm going to go ahead and harvest this. Pop it back up there under the lights. Got me a bag. We're going to... I'm in here somewhere. I have a feeling I need a bigger bag than this to harvest all this basil. Let's see. And this one here, we're going to harvest this too. And I did fill this back up, so I'm going to be careful with it. I have enough room in here. Alright. So, as you can see, all of this basil came from a little teeny thing of microgreens. We took it and just took like a square inch or 2 square inches of it, took it, planted it here. As this one back here started to grow, we topped it off, propagated it. We went over and grew some more all over here. So this basil jungle is grown indoors under Brad's Hidden Harvest grow lights, and totally from seed to harvest in just a few weeks. So this is just fantastic. I love it. If you guys could be here and smell this, this is incredible. Besides, you know, basil has that licorice smell, and I love that smell, but it also has, when I'm moving around, a little bit of cinnamon, and it smells like cinnamon toast in here, and then it smells like basil. It's just awesome. But so I've got some work to do. I've got to go ahead and harvest some of this. But before I do, don't go anywhere. Let me move this back here, and then we're going to cut open that one in the, up front. I just wanted to bring it all out here to show you guys what you can grow inside, and totally easy as can be. This is set it and forget it. This is the white jugs on the outside. Didn't do anything. Total set it and forget it. The downspout back here, which only holds 1.5 gallons, so it holds like 2 of these milk jugs when you first set it up. And I let it go down. I kept it between 1/2 and 3/4. So when I say I refilled it, I didn't put a whole another 1.5 gallons in. I only put like about 1/2 to another 3/4 of a gallon in it. So that one was grown back here, a few gallons of nutrient solution. And this one up front, I refilled once, and you can tell that's just a quart. And I put about another 1/2 quart in. So you're talking about, it hasn't even, this isn't even done. It's still growing. But as it stands right now, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 10. So less than 15 gallons of nutrient solution. we probably grew all of this stuff up here, and it's not done. It's going to keep on growing and keep on growing. Keep on growing. All right, so let me move this. Like I said, this is just wonderful. Do you think you can have like an armful? Look at this. Can't even hug it all. An armful of basil growing in a couple of weeks indoors, and you don't worry about pests. You don't worry about anything. No weeding, no tilling, no composting. This is easy as can be, folks. This is set it and forget it. All right, let's move this back here for right now. Let's get some room. I mean, look at that. So with topping it off, these are from the light 16, 17. This one's 20 inches. You know, these over here are growing from the top here 16 inches. So pretty cool. Alrighty. Let's see. If I should put these back up top. We're going to move these as far as they'll go over this way. I'm not going to bother putting them back up because I'm going to harvest it. Let's do this. Can y'all see me now? Can you hear me now? Alright. Don't fall off. Now if I don't bump them. Now, let's get to this. Isn't that cool? Okay. I'm going to dump the nutrients out, and I've got a razor blade over here, a knife. We're going to cut it open and see what the roots look like. Now, if you guys want to grow, if this is like your first time seeing one of my videos and you haven't been following me for a little while, I've got like 200 videos. But if you want a real quick way, instead of wasting a whole lot of time watching a bunch of videos, and you want to know the basics of how to grow like this, set it and forget it, the easiest, simplest way and least expensive, I've got a course, and I'll put the link down below. It's usually, I think we're going to sell it for $37, but for this first week, I'm going to put it up, and anyone who wants to go over there and take the course, it's about 14 videos right now. A couple more are going to be coming out, and it answers all your questions. If you watch some of my videos and you know how to build the downspouts, and you know how to do stuff like this, but then you have questions about the nutrients, about growing indoors versus outdoors, about mosquitoes, about the different plants that you can grow. There's all kinds of topics, and it's all cut and dry. It's none of the fluffy stuff like we do on YouTube. It's just straight information, just like a classroom setting. And I got it on sale for this week for just $9.99. And once you do that, you're like a lifetime member. You know, you get in there, you take the course, and whenever you have questions, you can always refer back to it. So it's a bunch of videos. And over time, I'm going to be putting in some downloadable content like PDFs and different lists and things that can help you out. So you'll get all of those too. But let's go ahead and get onto this real quick. Like I said, there's a little bit of nutrients in here, so I'm kind of interested to see what it looks like or how much it is. And so if you guys can see that, let me come in close and show you just how clean it looks. So we've grown this. I want you to see so it doesn't look like I'm cheating and showing you something else. This is actually right from here, right? You see how clean that water looks that's coming out, right? No algae. You see that? Just the color of the nutrient solution, the yellow. Kind of looks like a peat in a bottle. All right, let's cut this open. Here we go. I think it's off. All right, let's see what it looks like. Pop it back. Cool. Little box shaped roots. You see they just started turning, they look a little brown. Dripping on the floor there. But like I said, there you go. Let me set this down. Yeah, just put it here. I'll wipe it up. So there's a little box with roots. Pour this out so I can tip it up towards you. You see the inside? So it's no algae. It's a little bit of brown funk or whatever on it. So totally closed up. Like I said, I just filled it up once. Roots look a little brown. When I did the video last week, they looked a lot more white, but it's been sitting in here for another week. That's why I want to go ahead and harvest it. But I think that's pretty cool. Alright, it's a pretty cool experiment. Like I said, you know, you've seen the milk carton garden where we set them up like this, and we just grew out of that, so you wouldn't have to modify this at all. You just set it down and grew it out of the top, and we grew like 60 plants. The broccoli and pak choi, we grew it like that, cabbage, all kinds of stuff. But with this, laid it down, you've got this here. It's pretty cool. Move it back here so you can see it. Oh, I know, I just put this down. We'll lay it on top. See if it stays up. So pretty cool. All the roots in there. Grew this. No care, set it up, care at all. It's just set it and forget it. Grows by itself. I think it's a pretty cool little experiment. This would be something neat that you can do with your kids. Teach them about hydroponics. Teach them about sustainability, about upcycling, about reusing containers, keeping stuff out of the landfill. At least this one, you know, we kept it out for one more grow, so we got a little something out of it before we just took it and just threw it out with that, you know, not get any use out of it. This, if I didn't cut it open, I think it would have went another couple of weeks. It still has a bunch of small leaves up here. We could top them off, but as it is, we're just going to harvest this right now. I thought it was a cool little experiment. I'm going to try it again with other stuff besides basil. Basil, you guys who are out there, if you're just starting out, if you're just trying all of this, basil is excellent in hydroponics. You can clip it just like we did here. You come in here, and these have already got flowers. If they're already bolting or already growing buds, you don't want to use it, you know, the plant's mature by then. But you can always go in like this, and you can stick that in water. I always started off in water. These I did start in the nutrient solution, but you can take them like these over here. I start off in water. Just set it in the water, you'll see it root, and you can go ahead and plant them out and have you a load of basil. So all this was all grown indoors. There is no pest anywhere, so like if you grow it outside, you know, you have to worry about pests. I've actually got a lot of this growing outside. I'll show you a quick little picture of that. So we've got basil everywhere. We're going to be harvesting some of this, but you know, if you want to get your kids started, this just get a little milk carton. Now you're going to help punch the holes in. I used a razor blade. You can use something else, you know, just use a little, you know, pointy scissors or just something, punch a couple of holes, get you some basil plants. You can get this. I think some of the stores actually have basil growing in little tiny pots in the produce section for you to get, and top it off, stick them into something like this, and grow some basil. And then when your kids, of course you help them, don't use let the kids use the razor blade, but help them cut it open and see what actually goes on like that. Fun little experiment. Alrighty, you guys get out there. This is so easy that, like we said, you know, it's one of our things here is that anyone, anywhere can do this. We grew this indoors as long as you got the temperature where it's comfortable for you. You know, it's in the 70s or 80s. If you've got some space that you can keep, you know, over in the corner, throw a couple of lights in it, get a little ventilation, like a little fan blowing around, and you can grow your own food. So wonderful stuff. I'm going to be trying it with a lot of other things in upcoming videos. So this is just the beginning. You guys let me know down in the comments what you want to see me growing. Like I said, I want to go ahead and try my pak choi because I love pak choi, and if I can grow some inside too, that'd be awesome. Some of our plants, we have a problem with leaf miners outside, so if I can grow some inside, that'd be cool. So I'm gonna get doing this, making some pesto. You guys, like I said, check out the merchandise below. Also, if you guys are new to this and you want to learn the easiest and least expensive way to grow, like I said, I've got my online course. It's going to be about $37, but this week it's going to be on sale for $9.99. So the link's down below. It gives you all the answers to how to do everything if you want to know about the nutrients and the plants you can use and the containers and questions about like mosquitoes and algae and all kinds of stuff like that. Everything you need to know is inside that course. So instead of watching days and days and binge watching all these videos, you can go over there for a couple of hours and get all the knowledge you need to get starting to grow your own basil jungle or whatever kind of plants you like to grow. You get to get all of that knowledge all wrapped up really quick, and you'll get future things, whatever I keep adding on into that course. You'll be able to always come back to it and check all of that out. So go ahead and check that out right now. And everybody, get out there. I don't know why you're not growing anything if you are. Right now we're in a literal basil jungle, and you can have one too. Alrighty, get out there, lift, inspire, keep on growing, be the change. Much love.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming episodes.
Where it goes, driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights.